What's up, fight fans? Running into Showtime Shawn Porter over here in Amsterdam. We're on our way to Saudi Arabia, right, Shawn?
It's random, right?
It's random. It be happening. But obviously,
You came around me.
I came around you. I was looking around. I was like, is that Shawn? I was like, it has to be.
I thought you was chasing something, to be honest, because you like ducked down and like walked around. I was like, what is he doing? You know?
But Shawn, obviously, this is one of the biggest cards in recent memory. Would you say it is the biggest one in the last 10 years?
I don't give a damn. It's an amazing card. Honestly, man, I have to be me. Like at the end of the day, the fighters have to perform.
Yeah.
The Shakur Stevenson versus Floyd Schofield Jr. fight is off. That kind of dims down the card as a whole. Daniel Dubois possibly might not fight. I love the replacement should it happen, being Bacoli. That's great, but I think that boxing we should have more events.
Okay.
And that's what I like about Riyadh season. That's what I like about His Excellency Prince Turki Al Sheikh. He's putting on events. When somebody asks me, "Is this the biggest card?" I'm like, I don't know. Like
Right.
I've been watching boxing not that long. You know what I mean? I've been doing it forever, but I've been really paying attention and watching it the way that I do now. You know, so I think it's a great night of boxing. Should everybody show up the way that they should? Bangers. And you know, this is what I like about this card is there's no sloppy boxing on this card. They're gonna be bangers, but it's gonna be classical bangers. You know what I mean?
And of course, there's a bunch of names, but I think you're referring to like, will it transmit into action, into competitiveness? Correct? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the main event will. The main event will. You know, as you go back down the line, though, I don't see how they couldn't. I don't know what's gonna happen with Shakur Stevenson. I think that he deserves to still get a fight on this card. It's last minute. How do you replace somebody against Shakur Stevenson?
Right.
Almost impossible. So I hope he gets to get a chance to get in the ring on fight night. But I think that all the way down the card, everybody, there's supposed to be great fights, but it's weird, man. We've seen this in sports in general, but in boxing sometimes the guys just don't show up the way you expect them to. But I don't see that being the case on fight night. But you know, I just wanted to make it apparent. Like, I don't know if this is the biggest fight card ever. You know, people are referring to that and everything, and it's like, let's just focus on how big this card is and not try to rank it and all this other stuff. Let's make sure we have a great night.
Hey, and the topic of Shakur, obviously he's got a replacement with Padley. A lot of people are saying, you know, we know the skills of Shakur Stevenson, ultra skilled, one of the, you know, most ingenious pure boxers in the sport. Do you feel, even though he doesn't have a lot of knockout power, he should get this guy out?
I don't know anything about this guy. I mean, this is the first time I'm hearing that he's got a replacement fight. But, you know, at the end of the day, I think that that's the next step in the maturation of Shakur Stevenson, is putting pressure on guys, getting him out of there. One thing that I know about the sport is it doesn't always take one punch to get him out of there. Sometimes it's your presence, and that referee seeing your presence against your opposition and knowing this is 9 rounds to none, this is 10 rounds to none, and this guy isn't slowing down, it's time to wave it off, you know? So he, in that respect, Stevenson, to me, he has to figure out a way to step up, implement more of his skill, and make it more offensive and consistent, you know. He's got it all, you know. I know that I'm on record for getting in the ring with him recently. You know, it's a slow pace. It's a very methodical pace. It's beautiful for me to see it. It was beautiful for me to be in the ring against it, but it doesn't translate very well to other people who, you know, just want to see, you know, some smash mouth type stuff. Right. So that's kind of, I think, should be his objective moving forward, is where can I improve and start to do those things fight after fight.
And of course,
I'll say one more thing. A lot of people have referred to Andre Ward, and it's very true. When Ward first got going, he wasn't this crowd-pleasing, unbelievable phenom of a man that he was. It just took some time for him to find his stride. And while we're saying that about Shakur, if Shakur doesn't start to make adjustments and improve every single fight, That's what Dre did. Dre got better every single fight. We saw him get knocked down early in his career, and it was like he made a decision to get better and better. Shakur has to do that now.
And it seems to be there seems to be this narrative that a lot of people don't want to face him because he's, like people have been saying he's just a boxer. He's just going to try to win on points. He's not going to take too many risks. Do you feel like the names at that division are, in a way?
Can you beat it?
I feel like nobody can really outbox him.
Can you beat it?
Yeah.
The defense is it's immaculate. And, let's just go ahead and pull it out. You know what I mean? Everybody's referring to Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson. It's Tank being one of the most explosive offensive fighters against Shakur being one of the greatest defensive fighters of this generation. And I watched him spar before I got in the ring. I was watching him spar like last year, I think it was. And I just was in awe. Again, I get it. It's sparring. But when you take two guys in the ring that have two totally different styles against one guy, and that guy forces both those guys to fight the same way, that to me, I hope y'all catch that out there, because you got a boxer who can counterpunch, get in the ring with Shakur, and literally is at a standstill, can't do anything. And you got an aggressive guy, a lot like myself, all this, and gets in the ring and it's gone. He stabilized all of it, So I'm telling y'all, man, when we talking about a Tank Davis versus Shakur Stevenson fight, it's 50-50. Everybody's going to say the same thing, and I get it 100%. You can't count out Tank's power. No, you can't. But what if he can't touch Shakur with what he wants to touch him with? Right. And Shakur can actually outbox him and outpoint him, out-touch him, So I think that's a great fight to be had. And, I think that any of the top names that say they don't want to fight Shakur is because they simply know it's going to be a difficult night. And who wants a difficult night at work?
Exactly.
Give me my coffee and let me clock in and clock out.
Exactly. I think for that fight, people either think that Shakur is going to do a shutout or Tank could hit a homer.
I don't know what that fight looks like, man. I don't. Because, the thing that we know Shakur has is defense, I know personally that he's got offense. I knew that before I got in the ring with him, but he doesn't always turn that offense on. Sometimes the defense stays turned on. Sometimes it's hard for him to connect the dots. But that's why we grow, and that's why we have fights to try to improve. So that's what I'm looking for on Fight Night from him. I'm not looking for a knockout. I'm not looking for a stoppage. I'm looking for, are you better than the last saw you?
Hey.